That's your mom and them.
We haven't done the podcast right now probably since what, July, I think.
I couldn't tell you.
I don't remember the last time I did anything.
It still feels like April to me.
Feels like Blur's Day.
Yeah.
March the 84th.
I don't even know. I couldn't tell. Like, for the past 2 months, I couldn't tell you what day of the week it was, what month, anything.
Sometimes I'd be like, I'd wake up in the middle of the night and I was like, is this Saturday or Sunday? Like, seriously,
Yeah.
I didn't know what it was.
No, I didn't even care.
I don't know. And it's weird because you don't have internet, you don't have cable, you don't have anything. So you like, the outside world doesn't exist to you anymore. And you're like, it's almost nice in a way. You know what I'm saying?
It is. And going on to that point, your phone didn't work, so you never looked at your phone.
Nope.
You're just like, damn thing don't work, so why even look at it?
And I mean, all I remember, okay, so the hurricane hit August 29th. Right now, today is what, November 8th, 9th, 10th, something like that?
Sounds close.
Dude, so, I mean, we're almost on Thanksgiving here, and we haven't done a podcast since July. So we did July because we were talking about the rodeo. The rodeo was going on. We had to postpone it because of Claudette de Babette in June, and then we moved it to August. I was going to do the podcast at the fishing tournament. The problem there is that COVID was through the freaking roof. In August.
It's finally going down.
It's going down, but it was through the freaking roof. Contagious Delta was like going everywhere. And that week it was like, I think it was like 98 degrees.
Hot as shit.
Dude, it was so freaking hot. So we had the rodeo and we didn't have as many people as we did last year for the bash. But we still had a good turnout. But I think we would have had a bigger one if it was in June because it was a little cooler and the pandemic wasn't like
blowing up
like crazy. So, but we still had a good time. We had a nice turnout with the fish. Of course, nobody really. If you would have caught like a little rat red, you would have probably won.
Maybe.
Because I think the biggest redfish we had, the biggest stringer was only made up of one redfish and two specks. That was the biggest stringer we had. And I'll post some of the, if you go to the y'allcatching.com page or if you go to the Facebook page, you'll see the pictures of the people. It's a blur. I don't even remember who won.
They probably don't either.
No, they don't. But what happened was we had the rodeo that weekend. It was August. It was the weekend before the storm.
Yeah.
And then the storm came in. When the storm hit, Friday. It was a Friday it hit or Saturday?
It was a Sunday.
It was a Sunday. Yeah, it was a Sunday that it hit. We were preparing for that Friday. We started shutting everything down. That Saturday, yeah. But you stayed, huh? You stayed.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Tell me your situation. Tell me about how. So leading up to that was me leading up to the freaking thing. And also I passed my real estate exam, and I submit all the paperwork to go ahead and start, real estate, because I'm gonna do that on the side too.
Yeah.
And the hurricane hit, so it's like all my paperwork was missing, everything. So I had to redo everything. So it's been a blur. But tell me what led you up to the hurricane.
All right. Well, it was March of last year. We purchased a new house, so we had our other house for sale.
Mm-hmm.
So fast forward a year, we finally get a contract on the house, and the house is supposed to close August, September, something.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway. We're getting that situated because 2 weeks before the storm, we get a contract on the house. So we want to make sure everything with that house is cleared up, moving everything to the new house. I just put up a new fence around my new house, nice vinyl white fence, 600-something feet of fence. Then
that's a good investment, though. I'm telling you right now. A fence and a hurricane, that's a good investment to have. It'll eat your deductible up real quick if you don't have roof damage. Because a fence will fall.
Mine didn't.
It did?
Mine didn't. But we'll get to, the fence and insurance later, I'm pretty sure. But so anyway, a few months before that, my girlfriend's parents both caught COVID. Mm-hmm. So they were one was in the AMG facility in Houma, and the other one was in Terrebonne General. We normally leave for storms. Well, Jontel says she was not leaving with her parents at the thing. So I finally had to be a man once in my life, in this relationship. We always joke that she's the man in the relationship, and I have no problem with that. I was like, I'm staying. Like, I'm going to stay with you. Like, yeah, I'm going to protect you.
Right.
Worst decision I ever made. I was scared shitless. But anyway, so we stayed. Now, my new house was built in 1947. It's solid cinder block.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I know.
So leading up to the storm, like I said, Thursday, what was it? Wednesday or Thursday, we find out, hey, man, you probably got a storm that's going to hit you this weekend.
Right. It like came out of nowhere.
Exactly. So my house is cinder block. I don't want to drill into it to hang boards to board up my windows. So I'm like, we're going
to rough it.
We're going to rough it. I mean, along with probably half the people that stayed, I don't think anybody expected it to be as bad as it was.
No, because that Saturday night, it was Sunday that it hit, because that Saturday night, I remember we went to bed. We waited on the 10 o'clock update, and I was watching Chris Franklinton on Channel 4 because I wanted to see Peyton Malone the next morning, because I dub him now. Yeah. So I wanted to kind of get some ideas or whatever, because at that point I was like, I don't know if it's going to hit us, because they weren't sure. They kept saying it was going to hit Terrebonne Parish.
Yeah.
And the way it was looking, it looked like it was going to go more east.
It did.
You know, and it did go more east.
Especially Saturday night. It kept wobbling.
It kept wobbling to the east. Yep. And I was like, so I went to bed at 10:30, and it was a Category 2. Yeah. Barely a Category 2. Like 100-mile-an-hour winds. And I was like, there is no way I'm going to go to bed, wake up at 8 o'clock tomorrow morning or 7 o'clock tomorrow morning, and this thing's going to be...
It did.
Huh.
Yeah.
In 4 hours, bro.
Everybody's booties were puckering.
Oh, dude, in 4 hours, it went to 155.
Yeah.
I was like, what? I woke up because my phone was going crazy. Woke up, then, puckering.
So I was okay. Like I said, I didn't have time to I couldn't figure out a way to board the windows, because I wasn't going to drill into the cinder block because I don't want it to crack or anything. So I'm not a carpenter. I'm not, engineer. So I was just like, you know what? If the windows break, the windows break. There's nothing I could do. Mm-hmm. But we do have a hallway that's blocked and there's no windows. There's a stairway up to upstairs and all. And like I said, even the interior walls are cinder block. So when we got in that room, you don't hear the wind. You don't hear the rain. You don't hear anything. So I felt safe. I was like, well, if something happens, still not thinking 150-mile-an-hour winds. I'm thinking 100. I do have some trees in my front yard, but I'm okay. I have some coverings on the windows. Like I said, it was a house built in 47, so you used to not have air conditioner. So you just had shade over your windows, so you can constantly open your windows and it won't rain in the inside. So I was like, well, those are going to protect it if something flies. Thank God we didn't have nothing hit the windows, but I positioned the sofa away from the window, and I have like 4 big windows into the front yard. Mm-hmm. It's like a movie theater, man. We're just watching a storm.
Big screen TV. Watching Twister live.
And then all of a sudden you get them 170 to 165 mile an hour gusts.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and I'd run into the hallway. I had my 4-year-old with us. My other 2 boys were with their other parents. So I was like, I got to protect the 4-year-old. And then we had Jontel and her sister there. They were fine. It's like I was the only one that was nervous. Grayson, my little boy, did not even know what was going on. Oh, I was nervous as hell. Thank God it passed during the day so I can see what was going on.
Yeah. If this would have passed that night, dude, I think I would have lost my shit.
Yeah. And then the next morning we wake up and I lost, 6 trees? I had a 40-foot tall pecan tree that fell before it got rough. Like in the 80, 90 mile an hour winds.
Yeah. Well, a lot of people don't realize that, it rained the entire year in Louisiana. Yeah. Oh. Well, I made a parody or 3 p.m. It's always raining. You can't cut your grass. So we had, I think up until we were like plus 12 inches for the year. Like we were over a foot of rain.
I wish I could see that.
Yeah. Plus 12 inches. No, I don't want that. I don't think anybody wants that, to be honest. Not even the girl. No. But anyway, yeah. So we were saturated. The ground was wet. Oh, yeah. So the trees were just freaking coming down like nobody's business. I'm talking these big ass oak trees just laying over.
When it uprooted, like I said, I don't know if anybody's ever been around a tree getting cut or been uprooted. Mm-hmm. Everything shakes. Like it's not just like a little crack.
Right.
It is a boom and you feel things shake.
Right. Well, you got the root system underneath the ground. That vibrates the whole thing when it comes down. I said,
I can see from, I'm going to call it the theater seat, looking out the windows, I can see the tree.
Right.
And then I just saw it go. I saw the ground do like this and I was like, That
You
could
can see it buckling, the ground
that
buckling.
could have reached the house, but it would have hit a pine tree that's in front of it. But it fell to it'd be the left. So it fell that way. And I can see, I got another set of windows on this side, so I can see the whole time when it fell.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, damn, it didn't even get bad yet. And if that tree fell, so the next day when I go out, it's a 6-foot hole slap full of water.
Damn.
And like I said,
So you had a swimming pool.
I had a swimming pool in there. So that goes to show you how wet the ground was.
Right.
And it didn't fill up from the rain because the where the tree uprooted, everything was up.
Uh-huh.
So water couldn't flow in there.
Right.
That was water that was in there
Before the storm. Yeah.
Yeah, before.
Damn. Yeah, because I mean it was raining like so much this year, and like I said, I made a parody off of it and everything. But I remember when the storm actually hit, I was doing TikToks. I was on TikTok and I was on Facebook, and I just kept going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth until I knew eventually it was gonna go. It was gonna go away. So when it eventually went away, it was around 4:00 in the afternoon. It started at 11 that morning.
Yeah, they had some.
The first band came 11 o'clock. I was outside, and I mean, we were getting some 30, 40 mile an hour winds, maybe a 40, 50 gusts.
Yeah.
And then around 2 o'clock, it was like nothing.
No.
Like it was nothing. I was like, man, you wouldn't even know there's a category 4, possibly 5 barreling down on our ass right now. And then around 3 o'clock, it started like, it did not let up until 9 o'clock that night. And I remember, so I'm at the front door, and I put some plywood up on the front door and I left like an inch slot because I mean, you know me, when I was little, I used to record the bad weather and all kind. I was just fascinated with bad weather, so I was like, I got to record this. This is going to be probably a catastrophic hurricane. We're home. I got to get some footage.
Yep.
So I'm at the door, and I'm playing commentary. Like, so it starts getting really bad, and so everybody goes in the hallway like y'all did. So, you know, I had my 3 kids, and I had my in-laws here with Holly. So they're in the hallway, and I'm like, oh my God, there's a Christmas tree! Like it was just white, bro. You couldn't even see.
Couldn't see.
I got my boxwoods in the front right there. I mean, they're probably from me to you from the window. I could not see them.
No.
That's how white it was.
Yeah, it was bad.
And I have some video that I'll post on top of the podcast video that I'm gonna put on Facebook. So right now it should be showing right now. But the wind is just, it's whipping. And then all of a sudden I just see plywood just, and it was like missiles, pow, pow, pow. And I was like, something's going on. Yeah. Oh shit, there's a Christmas tree. And a Christmas tree started rolling, and then pots and pans, and I was like, that's somebody's roof. I mean, where are you going to put? Nobody has their Christmas tree out right now. It's August. No. It's in their damn attic.
Yeah.
So somebody's roof is gone. And sure as shit, 3 houses down from us, we have our neighbors, no roof. Yeah. No roof.
Well, that's when I was starting the story, when I said we had that contract on the house, it's only a mile and a half away. We really were going to go to the other house because I have storm shutters.
Uh-huh.
Thank God we didn't. Because I lost half the roof. Well, not, the plywood lost it, but the water came in, the ceiling caved in.
Right.
The back doors blew open. Just all kind of, and it's only a mile up the road.
From where you were, yeah.
Yeah, but different. I mean, you can go down neighborhoods and like you could see, it's just funny. One house
unscathed,
and the next house, it
looked like a bomb went off.
Well, it looks like it's back to the 2x4s. It was built like just the structure.
The studs. Yeah, it looks like they just poured a slab and going up with the house.
It's crazy. And like, they always say, well, that's tornadoes. I'm like, this was just a weird storm.
Dude, look, they said it was going to come in and come out. They said it was going to, I remember that day, our phone went, you get those loud, those, it freaks you out all day long. Said you're going to have a bad wind advisory or whatever until 2 o'clock. So I was thinking the worst was going to be over by 2, 3 o'clock.
Yeah.
No, because what happened was when it came up Port Fourchon.
It basically rode the line in between Terrebonne and Lafourche
That's
Parish.
it. Yeah. It just rode that line. So I mean, we're actually Berg, and then on the other side of Berg is, if you draw, is like Grand Bois, and then on the other side of that is La Rose. Yeah. So we're like the I guess the northern eastern part of Terrebonne Parish, and it cut off, and I was more of like the northern western part of Lafourche Parish. So it rode right up there.
Yep.
But what happened was right when it got to Houma, it was supposed to go to Thibodaux. It didn't go to Thibodaux.
No.
It turned this way. So when it turned, we stayed in that freaking eye wall. So that's why from 3 to 8 o'clock, it was even worse because we got the ass end of the eye wall.
Yeah, you never got a break.
We never got a break.
All it did was shift. It blew one way and it shifted to tear up the shit the other way. That's all it did.
It was what happened was it was blowing across the face of the house, and my neighbors and all are right next door.
Softening it up.
Oh, dude, they were getting creamed, and I was like, I mean, we were getting some damage too, but not as much as them because their house was like taking the brunt of it.
Yep.
Well, then when that sucker turned toward like I guess the Zalmans and away from Thibodaux and to go toward like I guess the river parishes, Lulin and all of that, the wind changed to go straight into my house. I mean, so it was going sideways. Now it's straight on my front door, and there's no house in front of me. My neighbor's off kind of catacorn, so I have an empty lot in front of me.
You got a breeze.
So I had 150 mile an hour winds just pounding for 2 hours on my front door.
Yep.
So as I was recording, there was one video I stopped and said, I can't record anymore. It's getting wet because the wind was actually blowing the water into the house.
Yeah.
So I had about a foot to a foot and a half section in the house of just water coming in because
I did that through my windows.
it was just blowing, bro, and it was nothing you could do about it. It's like because we'd stop it up, and then here come.
Well, in my new house, it blew through the windows, but I wasn't standing by the window, so I couldn't see. Like everything's dark.
Right.
So the next day when it lit up, you can just see the streaks down. And I got a stucco wall because like I said it's cinder block, so it just peeled away, but. Through the window. I mean, you think it's sealed. Not with 150 mile an hour winds.
No, somebody's do that with some water in front of you. See what's gonna happen.
Yeah,
the water's gonna fly into the mic.
It's coming through.
So, so a lot of people ask me. They're like, "Well, Rhett, are you gonna stay for the next storm?" Yes, I will. And they're like, "You're crazy." And I was like, "Well, here's the deal. If I wouldn't have stayed, the wind was blowing 2 hours, 100 at least. I say 150." Sustained probably 110, 120, but you had gusts every now and then.
Strong enough. Let's put it that way. Strong enough.
Strong enough to blow the damn door. I had to screw the door shut. Yeah. I had to screw it shut. So I ran outside, and underneath my carport we have it's that vinyl siding underneath. When we were constructing the house, we wanted to put wood there and stain it, but you get to the end of the building your house and you want to kill each other and you're out of budget for everything. So you start knocking things out. So we put that. And eventually we were going to, change it. Well, thank you, Ida. We're going to change it now. But what happened was when the door started, climbing in, I went outside and I saw one of the one piece of slat from the vinyl siding was, and I was like, if that thing goes, it's all going to go. Yeah. So I was like, okay, well, I'm going to run inside there. When I walked outside, I have a wooden pole that holds up the carport.
Yeah, column.
It broke. It broke to shit. Okay, so it's all over the place. I'm like, what the hell? And I mean, dude, this is like 110 mile an hour winds. I'm outside. Yeah. I'm like, all right, cool. So I grab that board and I snap it in half. I crack it because I just wanted a little piece of board to put up against the house to screw the door shut so it wouldn't open. So while I'm out there, I grab the piece of wood. I run into the shed. Electricity's out. It's freaking blowing, dude. And there's insulation flying everywhere. There's shingles flying everywhere. It's like a freaking movie, bro. It's like, what the shit's going on?
Twister.
A nightmare. So I run in. I said, well, I'm going to go ahead and try to save as much as I can. If I get me a little vice grip and I vice grip the vinyl siding to the 2x4, then it won't allow it to like rip open. So I was like, okay, cool. So I went through that. Holly's yelling at me, get your ass inside. I said, I have to save this. So I did that, run inside. I screwed the door shut and went in the hall with them. And then Emmy's like, Daddy, I'm getting wet. I'm like, getting wet? What are you talking about? And I looked up and we were underneath the attic, like the attic door, and it was dripping. I was like, oh, shit. And I mean, granted, it's still 110 mile an hour. Woo! And then every now and then, every 15 to 20 minutes, you'll hear the house just go. And I'm like, what the hell is that? and it's just the air just pushing.
That's why they always say to crack a window.
You have to, because if you don't, dude, it'll blow the damn roof right off.
Bomb.
So that's what happened. I mean, if you go look on my front porch, what happened was, so the carport with the vinyl siding, my vice grips, I can't find them. Bitches, them things were gone.
No, they probably mounted you somewhere.
Yeah, so they were gone, and so that's what happened. The wind was blowing on the house, and what happened was it blew so hard that it blew the vinyl siding in the front of my house up into the attic. Then it went out, and it blew out of the carport. So it has to go somewhere.
Yeah.
So it blew that, and it was trying to blow the front door open. I screwed it shut, so it blew the roof on the two sides up, and it blew out. So, dude, it was like the weirdest experience. It was the freaking scary, dude.
It was.
It was nuts.
I was terrified.
I was terrified too. And then like, well, why would you stay again? Because of that. Like, I don't know. I don't know if I'd stay. The problem with leaving is if it's that bad and you come back in, you can't get back in, and your house is screwed because you have no AC and it's wet. You're gonna have mold everywhere.
Well, that's what happened at the other house. Like I said, that morning we left to try to get to it. It's only a mile and a half up the road, but they had so many trees down on the road. So we get to close to the entry of the subdivision. Can't get there. So we talking to a cop, and as we talking, they got donkeys and horses and Shetland ponies
just walking on the street,
walking on the road, and we just laugh and we like, and all you can say is, "We alive."
Yep.
But still the day after, you didn't realize the destruction,
how bad it was,
and what we had ahead of us. So anyway, finally, when they cut the tree down, we went to get to the other house, and we just pulled in the driveway, and like I said, you see nothing but plywood on the roof. Walk in the door to back. We have two French doors. They blown open. We look up. You got nothing but water spots all over it. Well, that was, we had that house for sale, so I had to take care of my original house first, and then you want to take care of family. So we were okay at the new house. We only had outside damage. So it was like, I came bring you some tarps, whatever I had. We had to get to our parents' house. We had to do anything we can just to make living conditions. But there's no way I'd have been able to live in that other house. And I couldn't get to it because, like I said, everything was just a mess. I had family in the hospital. I had family that, mom and daddy couldn't live in their house originally. You probably could have got a camper. I mean, you had enough damage, but you were here to take care of it.
Yeah. If I wasn't here, dude, we probably wouldn't be living in here.
Well, that's
right
what I'm
now.
saying. Like, you'd have had so much damage.
Because I was running around patching things as they broke, and kind of just band-aiding things so it wouldn't get worse. And that's why I'm always scared to leave, because, and then you got looters that come in here, and you got all kind of shit that happens. Speaking of which, let's talk about after the goddamn storm. Okay, so the storm passes, and you're going to have no electricity. You're going to be powerless, and from the stories that I heard in Lake Charles, they were saying, at least 20, 30 days without electricity.
The first, I don't know if you remember the first report that came out, it said
September something?
No, it said Halloween.
Halloween? Okay.
It said possibly Halloween for y'all area.
Oh, for our area. Okay. And then we had another one that came out. It was like September 28th or something.
And that was pretty accurate. I mean, I had power.
We had power on the 23rd or the 22nd.
3 weeks after the storm hit, I think I got power.
Okay.
But I wouldn't have I had a tree fell, and the transformer is...
Oh, it knocked it off the side of the house.
Well, I have a pole in my backyard because they can't run the cable straight from the utility pole. So I had to put, a small one in my yard. Well, when my pecan tree fell, it took that. It took the meter pan. It took my breaker box, ripped it completely off of the house. That was one of the damage we had. But thank God I got an electrician out there.
Yeah.
Coast Water Electric. I'll give him a shout out because they helped me out.
Oh yeah. I'll give everybody shout outs on here.
Terry Stone, he did me well. But I called him, and he had somebody out the next day. They fixed it. And even the parish, I got to give the parish their due too, because I called Jontel called the inspector. He came out that day. He was like, "Y'all got it done?" I was like, "No, it's not gonna be done till tomorrow. You want me to call you when it's done? I'll come back." Sure enough, showed up, had the sticker ready. Boom.
Damn.
Go ahead. And then the next day they were running the power, and the guy was like, "Oh, you got a new box. We came the other day. You didn't have it." I said, "Yep." All right. Boom. Done. I was like, "Damn, they got us hooked up pretty quick." We got 27 days, I think. No, 27th of September, or it was already 3 weeks.
Yeah, y'all were y'all had power a couple of days after us when we had it. So,
but like that other house didn't have power, so I couldn't. My generator was to help me out,
right?
So I couldn't bring a generator to the other house to get some air and all and that. So it just if y'all haven't
I went help.
Yeah.
You see me on TikTok. Sheetrock Moldy, baby. Sheetrock Moldy. No.
But there's nothing we could do about that.
There's nothing you can do. And we had mold in our house, but we cleaned it. We got it out, and it's called, what they call that, mitigation. Mitigation. You have to watch it. If you let that shit spread, you're screwed, dude.
That's it.
If you hit it before it spreads, you're good. You're good. And get a dehumidifier in there, or just leave it open. And then the guys who built this house, I called them first. I said, look, I want y'all to come and fix it because y'all familiar with the house, and they cool with it. And they gave me pointers. I said, look, Rhett, you don't have any type. You have spray and insulation. That stuff dries. Like if you had any roll in insulation, you need to get that out because that sucks water. That because we went in Mom and Daddy's house and that shit was funky.
Yeah, it was funky.
Like I mean, it holds the water, and there's no AC, so it smells the boupuri, and it's insulation, and you're sweating, so your pores open up so that insulation gets in your skin. Dude, I still got rashes from that shit.
If anybody who hasn't been through this wants to know what it's like, take a bathroom towel, throw it in the bathtub full of water.
Yep.
Take it out. Don't wring it out. Throw it on your bathroom floor, laid out all flat. Now grab one end and pull.
Yeah.
That's what it's like.
That's what it's like pulling out wet insulation. Yeah.
It don't move.
It don't move and it breaks.
It breaks. Oh, it was so nasty. But thank God we had a sense of humor while we were doing it, because
check out the video, because I remember I videoed it. Yeah. It's right here. Look, that's us in the attic throwing the damn shit out, dude. It was bad. Yeah. But thank God Mom and Daddy have a little house, because I mean, if I would have had to pull the insulation out of a house like I got, I would have been like, Mom and Daddy, sorry, I got a vacation to go to.
Well, that's the other house had the blow-in insulation, but I said when I had to take out the ceiling, it just came pouring out. But that one don't itch.
Yeah, no.
That roll one does.
The roll up ones with the paper, that itches. The blow-in insulation really don't itch that much. But so a couple of days after the storm, okay. Now, look, Louisiana's been through this. The United States has been through this. Mm-hmm. We've all been through this. Like, what I'm saying is that, okay, you know a hurricane's coming, okay? All your insurance companies should be here ready to go. Mm-hmm. Ready to go, okay? You should have a freaking fleet of people out here. FEMA should be out here. Your parish should be out here. And whatever gets hit, I don't care. You should declare it a freaking martial law zone. You can't, if you don't live in here, you can't go in here.
No, you can't.
You can't.
You shouldn't.
They should set up a perimeter around the disaster area. You can't come in.
Before I got to my other house, like I said, I live a mile and a half away. They had one tree stopping us. When they cut the tree, I got there. Same day, I got there. There was roofing companies from Texas and out of state, Texas. The other one was, I think, from Tennessee. In my neighborhood. How the hell you got in my neighborhood?
Exactly. I ain't even got no damn drinking water over here, and I got 8 roofers knocking on my door.
That was the damn vultures. Like I said, my back door blew open, so the inside of my house was soaking wet from the rain. I had freaking leaves and everything, and the guy's like, "Oh yeah, bro, you need us. It's gonna be $11,000 to tarp your roof." Man, get the hell out of here! Like, no sympathy for anybody.
Oh,
it's
no,
just,
and you know what? This is what they do. They come in. It's like how can I explain this? Okay, it's like somebody trying to sell life jackets to the people who just fell in the water from the Titanic.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, I got a life jacket, but it's going to cost you $25,000.
Yeah.
For one life jacket.
You don't want this to happen to you.
Yeah.
Again, do you?
Whoop, bloop, bloop, bloop. You're sinking. What do you want? You don't want it. It just went to $30,000. What do you want? That's how it is.
Yeah.
Look, you're messing with some people who just went through some shit.
Exactly.
Okay? They've been, I was terrorized by the damn storm. Now I'm tired because you don't sleep well in the damn hotness.
No.
You can't take a bath because you ain't got no damn running water. So you got funk on you.
Yeah.
Okay. It's 100 degrees outside because it's late August, early September. Then you coming up here and say, man,
wet, it's humid.
Yeah, exactly. Then you come over here. Then for 2 days, I've been picking up shingles all over my freaking yard because I'm not going to wait on somebody to come do it because
Correct.
I'm sorry, it ain't going to happen. If you're going to wait on somebody, you're still waiting on somebody.
Exactly.
I'm sorry. So I'm picking all that. And then here they come. Man, looks like you guys need a new roof, huh? Well, no shit, Sherlock. Like, bruh, like, come on, bruh. Like, it makes no sense to me. It's the cheapest way of selling to somebody.
Well,
you know?
the thing is, the guy came and he was like, man, if you sign a contract, it's gonna be about $11,000, because you got about, we charging this for it, and that's not even gonna cover the cost of my material. That's what he told me.
That's what they tell. Yeah,
I said, okay. I said,
that ain't gonna cost my cover my material. You full of shit.
I'm in the red already. I said, well,
then what the hell you doing here?
I said, well, what else? He said, well, you could sign the contract. I said, well, what it would cost me if I signed the contract? It'll be $8,000. I said, bro, it'll be cheaper to bail my ass out of jail when I stick my foot in your freaking ass. I said, get the hell off my property.
Oh, bro, they some sleazeballs, bro. And look, I'm not going to mention anybody's names. I would never do that. I'm going to give shout-outs when shout-outs are due.
Exactly.
But I will never say somebody's name or somebody's business on here because I got a lot of followers, okay? And I don't want to... I believe in giving people second chances. I believe in, I believe in all of that stuff.
Yep.
So I'm not going to bash, somebody unless they deliberately did something bad and like, okay, I would report them to the Better Business Bureau and all this stuff.
My favorite thing on Facebook after the storm was everybody taking pictures. Don't use this son of a bitch right here. I was like,
yeah. Have you ever heard of Ramirez Dingleberry?
Yeah.
Like, don't use his ass. Unreputable. No license. No nothing. I mean, dude, it's just Facebook was like so funny.
But everybody is in desperation mode. Like,
right.
You're so desperate. You just want you just want normal. Everything normal again.
The problem is, okay. So 2 days later, my neighbor pulls up because he evacuated. He pulls up and he's got this tarpon crew with him. They start tarping the roof. Well, naturally, I'm going to go over there because I tried to tarp my roof, and my shit's on pitch 10, 12. I don't know what they call that shit, but you need mountain boots to freaking climb the damn roof.
No,
Sorry.
You need an experienced roofer is what you need. Cause
exactly. I got up on the roof, and I was like, for 5 seconds, I said, you know what? Freaking take the damn house. I don't give a shit. No. I'd rather live than die on this damn roof.
I tell people all the time, my ass don't get 6 feet above the ground. And my ass is already 3 foot, so I only got 3 feet to go.
Yeah, that's it.
I ain't getting on a damn roof.
Hate heights. I hate all that stuff. But I love my house too, and I got a lot of stuff underneath it that I want to save. So we had we had shingles missing. I mean, you could see the wall over there in my studio. It had a big bubble on it full of water. I mean, we got a lot of stuff we got to change in here. But so naturally, them guys, let's call it for what it is this 3 little Mexicans. They up on the freaking roof and they working their ass off, bro.
When they carry 3 packs of shingles and don't touch a ladder.
No, but we wasn't even in the shingle stage.
I know, but
right
them
here.
guys, bro, they earning them money.
Yeah. Oh, what? So they on there and they and then so naturally I go talk to the boss man. I say, hey man, how much do y'all charge to do the tarping? And the guy that I talked to, the owner or whatever, the sleazeball, I won't mention his name. He said
he knows who he is.
He knows. $1 a square foot. So I'm like, okay, well, he doesn't mean $1 a square foot living. He means $1 square foot. Yeah,
because the roofing square foot is different.
It's different. I get it. Okay, but I'm like, okay,
10
my house,
10, if I'm not mistaken.
My house total is like 4,500 square feet. Living is like 29.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, so I said about $4,500. He meant something like that, and he was like, and I said, okay, cool. I was prepared to give my dumb ass was prepared to give him $4,500. But you know what? $4,500 to save $250,000 worth of shit underneath the house. Let's do it. I'll do it. Then he also said, well, you can pay for it, up front, and then I'll give you a receipt and that can go toward your deductible or whatever, and all this. I said, you know what? If you can just charge them directly,
that'd be great.
That'd be great.
I got my claim number.
Here's my claim number, all of this stuff. So we watching his kid so he can go freaking, F some more people, okay? Yeah. So he's going around. My kid's playing with his kid. We feed them, we give them shirts, we give them hats, we give them all kind of stuff because we are truly grateful that they're helping us out.
You save my roof.
Yeah, helping us out. You saved my roof. At least put a patch on it.
Yeah.
To save everything underneath it. So the next day, his little assistant comes over and he hands me an invoice, and it was for $9,000. And he was like, I'm like, what? $9,000? Yeah. Oh no, I'm sorry. Did you talk to? Because apparently they figured out who I was. I was DJ Rhett, so they were going to give me a deal. And I'm like, I don't want a deal.
No, they want you to blast their ass on the internet.
Well, but I did. I gave them a shout out. I gave them a little shout out on my live saying thank you for that. But now so if you want to know who it is, you can go back and look at it. But I'm not gonna call them out again. But anyway, oh no, that's the wrong one. Never mind. That's right. So I started asking questions. And asking my neighbor, I'm not gonna say their names, but ask my neighbor, hey, how much they charge you for that? $6,000. Huh? How much they charge you for that? They told me this, but they charged me $8,000. Huh? So I'm doing the math in my head. It was 10 and a half hours. They tarped my house, and my two neighbors' house. But they tarped a lot of people's house in here.
They can do a lot of tarping in a day.
Oh, yeah. So 3 houses, $8,000, $9,000, $6,000. Okay? That's, what, $23,000?
Yeah, in a day.
In a day. 10 and a half hours. And he didn't even get on the goddamn roof.
Yeah.
It was the Mexican crew that got up there, and they freaking and they probably paying them peanuts and keeping that freaking money.
Nothing.
So that was $22,000 in one day. They did at least 15 to 20 houses just in this neighborhood.
They're still tarping roofs today.
Yeah, dude.
They are still tarping roofs today.
So and they're like, when I started asking questions, they're like, oh, legally, we can charge up to $1 square foot. Legally, my ass, I don't care. That is highway robbery, and that's why our insurance is through the freaking roof.
Exactly.
How can they allow this stuff to happen? Why can't, and this is what I'm saying, why can't an insurance company hire some tarping people, and they can protect their asset because they have just as much to lose as I do? But I'm the one that's worried about it, not them.
This is the same conversation I have in my house every night. Because we're battling with the insurance company right now for the other house. And it's like, the only thing I can say is there has to be a better way.
There got to be a better way.
There has to be a better way. Most people don't want. Now, there is some people out there that will try to claim as much as they can on their insurance so they can walk away with $10,000 in their pocket. Guess what? You're screwing it up for everybody else.
Exactly.
Just get what will fix your goddamn house.
That's
it. Get right. We sent every receipt, everything we paid. We're not asking for anything more. Just want this house back to where it was. We'll take the depreciation on the roof. Yeah.
I'll pay my deductible.
We only getting 56% of our roof covered. So guess what? We're paying the other $10,000. I'm not fighting you for that.
Right.
But you tell me, oh, well, your ceiling got wet, so you just got to replace the ceiling. Guess what? Holes up the goddamn ceiling. The wall. Water comes down.
Exactly. Then it hits the floor. If you got wood floor, it buckles the damn floor.
That's what I'm saying.
I didn't ask for the damn hurricane.
And they're like,
but you asked for your premium every freaking first of the month.
Exactly. They sent me an adjuster, and I ain't lying. I mean, I don't know his name, and he'll probably never watch this. He was out of Texas. He was probably 6'7", 425 pounds. I ain't making fun of dude because he's fat, but you can't get in the goddamn attic when you're that big. So I said, man, you need to get in the attic and look. He walks up the steps, he didn't even have a flashlight. He took my flashlight. Look, he said, man, all your insulation's wet. I'm just going to write that down. You got to have a replacement on your insulation. Okay, so he walks in the room. He takes all the measurements. Then when we get our report, it's just replacing ceilings. Like, what you think? That water just sat right there? It don't sit right there.
No,
it comes
it drips.
So then they tell
gravity. Gravity pulls down, partner.
Yeah. So the insurance company tells us yesterday, well, we're gonna have to send another adjuster out. Mother, you know what? The house is getting rebuilt already. You want us to sit for 3 months until you decide what's right? No, I'm getting my shit back.
Dude, it's so ridiculous.
And it's like, well, I hope they took pictures. I got all the pictures you want.
Yeah. Oh, dude, you want pictures? You want pictures?
Like
I took 10 pictures of the same thing. Tick, 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 tick.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you can only take so many pictures. Mm-hmm. But like, you helped me demo some of the house.
Yeah.
Some of the spots that we didn't think were wet, guess what? We pull it off the wall and you're like, what the hell happened behind here?
It looked like a Little Shop of Horrors behind that thing, bro.
That's what I'm saying.
like chia.
It looked like some of the Ghostbusters blasted freaking some of the ghosts behind the wall with the lot of black shit. Like, it was ridiculous.
I know, it was nuts.
And don't say mole. Well, how does mole get,
don't say mole because we don't do mole.
You need water for mole. But
call it what you want.
I don't care what you call it. Call it.
It's wet.
It's your expense now.
It's wet. Fix it.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, if you got to tear off one wall, and I didn't tear off the stuff, like when the contractor came.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, man, you really probably should have tore out more. He said, and he went with his the little thermal, not the thermal gun. Is it thermal gun? Where the moisture thing?
The little moisture gun.
I want to buy that just because it was so damn
We
cool.
have a little moisture. We have one that we bought at Lowe's, but I don't know how good that works.
Can I walk around with? I felt like the Predator when I was walking around. Yeah, I felt like that. So we went around, and he said, man, you got pretty good. He said, but you probably could have done more because the way the water came in, the insurance should cover you cover you. I was like, well, I just did what I needed to do. As long as it's good, that's all I'm worried about. So we did the moisture gun, and they did the mitigation with the dehumidifiers. And man, if you ever had an industrial dehumidifier in your house, walk in that place after 3 days, dude, it sucks the moisture out your body. Like
your sinuses are
dude,
crisp.
I had the cotton mouth so bad. Like, it was bad, but it works. But the guy pulled over 100 gallons of water in 3 days in my house. Like,
damn.
Where?
I have one in my shout out to everybody who bought something from y'allcatching.com. I had to refund a bunch of people some stuff after the hurricane because my inventory room over here, my little merch room, it got damaged because the roof. This is my bonus room right here. This is where I do my studio and my playing up here, and it's up. It's also up in the air, so it's the most vulnerable place of the house. And when the wind was blowing straight to the house, so it was coming this way, it blew all the side of this off. So I had water come in. So I had some shirts got damaged and stuff like that. So if you didn't get your order, you should have got an email saying I gave you your money back. So but yeah, man, the water suck. But this back to the mole thing. They say, the guy who came to my house, he says the reason why they don't say mole is because you have mole in your house anyway.
Yeah.
You have mole in your house, like there's mole on the backside of your drywall. There's mole. There's mole everywhere. The thing is that you have an air conditioning unit that mitigates that. It doesn't allow it to. Now, if you take the AC off in your house for a month, I guarantee you have mole all over it.
Exactly.
I mean, it's just
you need circulating air.
You need ventilation. Yeah. That's the only way this is going to get rid of mole. So that's why when people say you're going to stay, yes, I'm going to stay, because if I can't get back in. Your house is done.
And that's the thing. Like when when we stripped out everything in the house, when he came with that gun, I said I had everything. I had dehumidifiers running in there for 3 weeks before the contractor came in with the gun, and it had mole pop up in different places. I'm like, well, I guess I got to gut that. He said no. He said if you have mole and it breaks apart, it'll grab onto anything it can. So that didn't get wet. It's a
spore.
He said that didn't get wet.
Mm-hmm.
It's just you have mole all over now, so it travels.
Right.
So it's not necessarily where your house always gets wet. Once it's in there, it'll spread quick. Like I said, with no power,
right.
It's just going to spread quick.
I asked, I guess it was a stupid question. I was like, well, if that's the case, why you don't have mole all over in your attic? He said because mole can't live in attic because it's so freaking hot in there.
Exactly.
It's going to kill it.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, okay, that makes sense. But along the walls where it's damp and they got those little seep holes at the bottom of the brick, that's what that's for. Mm-hmm. It's to allow moisture to come in and out and allow it's a mitigation type thing so it don't spread it. So, a lot of people, and I feel sorry for people who have mold and that come in, but there's some ways that you can mitigate that, from happening. But that's why I would never leave for an extended period of time, because if you leave your house, then it's almost like you're leaving it up for a science project waiting to happen or a looter to come or something, so it's hard, man. It's hard. It's hard to decide.
And like, I didn't get my roof tarp. Like I said, the first day people were getting their roofs tarped because they were living there. I wasn't living there, thank God, but I didn't get my roof tarped until 3 weeks later because I could have paid the $8,000 for the guy, dude, but I didn't feel like getting bent over.
Right.
Like I was like, no, I'm gonna get somebody and I got it for $1,000. I was like, that's a decent price.
Yeah.
I will fight my insurance for $1,000. I can't fight my insurance for $8,000 to $10,000.
Well,
and then sign a
they
contract
paid
with
that
you.
like it was no big deal, bro.
And
That dude turned that thing in, and they paid it like no questions asked.
This is the funny thing. They like, we paid $10,000 to tarp. Can I put a sign in your front yard? Yeah, you save them. So all the people that paid, I knew who did it because they had their sign in their front yard.
Oh yeah.
They still don't have their roofs on today.
I know, it's crazy.
I got mine on. They still don't have their roofs on.
Dude, it's nuts. They got more trash on the side of the roads and more construction advertisement signs on the side of the road than I've ever seen in my life.
It's crazy.
It's so funny. They got a sign that says, "We tarp for free. We build your insurance."
That's not free.
You're a dumbass.
That's not free.
You're a dumbass, sir. Yeah. No, it's a whole new world, man. And then so you're dealing with the roofers, you're dealing with the insurance. And look, we're still fairly fresh into this. I mean, this is not
it feels
it feels like 20 years ago, but
we're not even close to
I mean, what, 6 weeks out from the storm? Well, no, maybe more than that.
No, you're going to be 2
about
months
8 weeks.
Yeah,
about
September,
9 weeks. Almost
October,
9 weeks. Yeah. 9 weeks. The first 9 weeks.
First
9 weeks of the hurricane.
F. I made an F.
Yeah, me too. I
failed.
My progress report sucks.
They couldn't send my progress report because school was closed.
Yeah. Speaking of school, I wanted to talk about that too. So, the kids were out of school for about a month, maybe.
Yeah.
And my little girl, Berg Elementary sustained. I mean, they all had damages, but
we were phase 4.
Yeah. Oh, really?
No, you were too.
I was
They
phase 4.
sent out the phase, so we were phase 4.
Oh yeah. So
phase 4.
Phase 4. I wonder what phase 5 is.
But so that's good. They go to school, whatever. It's high school, okay? So South Terrebonne got freaking shellacked, bro. Mm-hmm. And I mean, the way I talked to Blaze,
Ellender
got pretty good. Got their asses handed to them too, pretty good. But South Terrebonne is bad.
Oh yeah,
Bob Bon. Now I don't know about our friends in Lafourche Parish. I know South Lafourche, all of them down there. I mean, it's gotta be they took.
But I want to say that those schools were
kind of
rebuilt and newer,
rebuilt up to code or whatever. Or
might have been. I mean,
maybe a newer, fresher
and
look.
by no means are we comparing any schools.
No,
we're just talking about what's affecting us.
I went to South Terrebonne, and South Terrebonne is older than dirt. I'm
Exactly.
sorry. What? They still got it engraved in there, 1964 or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's a very old school.
Yeah.
And
before anybody says, "Oh, why are you not worried about this?" I'm really not, because
No,
it doesn't affect me.
I'm not.
I'm sorry.
I live in Berg and
Exactly.
Terrebonne, and South Terrebonne's my
Yeah,
school.
my
Sorry.
kids go to Mulberry, and Mulberry was affected.
But I still care
That's
about
all I worry
Ellender. No,
about.
I care about Terrebonne Parish. I care about Louisiana. Okay, but now
you're going to go.
I'm gonna focus on
directly
Terrebonne.
affects you.
Right. This is where I live. This is where I pay my taxes. This is where my kids go to school at. So I'm gonna try to do what I gotta do.
We need them to take our kids.
Exactly. Now, oh yeah, please take the freaking kids, man. Jeez. But here's the deal. So high school, you got 4 major high school. Well, you got Vanderbilt too. That's the private school. But you have in Houma, you have Ellender, South Terrebonne, HL. I don't think there's any other high school.
Unless you consider it a Catholic school.
Well, they got Houma Christian and they got all of that stuff, but that's all private schools. But so you got the 4 private public schools. So South Terrebonne and Ellender, they can't go to school at their schools because of the damage. So they're splitting. So Ellender goes to Terrebonne in the afternoon. So Terrebonne goes, I think it's at from 6 to 12 or something.
Yeah.
6 to 11, something like that. And then when they leave, Ellender goes in at 12 to 5:30. Mm-hmm. Same thing with South Terrebonne. HL goes in the morning, and then South Terrebonne goes in the afternoon. So huge inconvenience. I'm just going to say it right now.
I mean, yeah.
Huge inconvenience. Reason being is because if you have if you have like me, I work, you work, Holly works, everybody works, okay? I'm not going to... You ever rode the school bus in high school?
I never had to.
You don't want to. I
never had to.
You never had to because we drove. But
yeah,
I never did because I just didn't want to be on the bus. Like it's a
you're not cool type thing.
Not a you're not cool type thing. It's just I I don't know. Bad things used to happen on the bus, you know? And I'm not saying they happen now.
No.
But I just don't want to.
I'm talking 20, 25 years ago.
Yeah, but I'm like, and now it's just kids. It's 14, 15, 16, 17-year-old kids on a bus, you know?
Well, that age group don't like each other already.
Right.
So you
I'm
put
just
them
saying
in a confined bus.
bad things can happen on a bus. But anyway, we'd rather bring it to school anyway.
And you're not going 2 miles to South Terrebonne. You're going
We're going across town.
20,
to HL.
It's like a
at
field
12
trip.
o'clock, okay? So we're bringing her, all right? Then we got to pick her up at 5:30. It wasn't that bad when it first started, but now daylight savings time, it's 5:30. It is dark. It's dark. So it's just dangerous, man. It's very dangerous because all these kids are trying to get out. And I hate to be the complainer, but I'd rather say something and nobody get hurt, and they do something, then don't say nothing at all, and somebody gets smashed by a car. These kids are running out in the parking lot, okay?
Yeah.
And they're trying to hurry up and get out because it's 5 o'clock traffic, too.
Yeah, exactly.
So everybody's like, I'm serious. Somebody's going to get smashed or hurt. That was before daylight savings time. Now, daylight savings time, you go in there, it's pitch dark. There's no lights in the front parking lot. There's nothing. These kids are running out. They're jumping all over the cars. The buses are trying to come out. Dude, it's freaking chaos. Why can't we do an A-B schedule? Why can't we do that? Philip Martin, why can't we do it? I'm just asking a question.
The thing that bothers me about the whole thing, nobody was asked opinions. It was just done.
It was done. Exactly.
It was done. And that's what causes a lot of trouble because that's an issue they probably didn't even think about. They were just thinking, we got to get the kids back in school.
And look, thank you.
That's great.
Get the kids back to school.
Thank you.
Okay, we got a Band-Aid. All right, we get them. All right.
Yeah.
Okay, now everything's kind of relaxed. People are getting their, people are getting construction going. People are, okay. COVID, we ain't got to wear masks no more in the damn school. Everything's getting back to normal. Okay, let's go A-B. Explain, if you can explain to me why they got to go to school in the morning and in the afternoon, and there's a rational reason behind that, is it because of money? Is it because of... Then tell me.
Yeah.
Give me an explanation of why you're doing it the way you're doing it.
Exactly. If you can explain to me why you chose this over this, I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. But you're not saying
But you
anything.
didn't give any opportunity for debate.
There was
none.
Like I get, and this goes into communication, which really pissed me off during the storm. I understand, phones are down, power's out, but Homa got no updates on zero.
Anything.
Zero. You either had to go to the Buzz on Facebook to try to find out something and try to get online.
People were following me. I had 225,000 people watching me.
Because you were the only one giving information out. I was the only one giving information out, yeah. And Tim Sonia, Sheriff Tim, would call you and say, hey, can you get this out?
Yeah, can you get this out? Yeah.
Because
nobody was giving any information
And
that's why I kind of lost my cool on one of the lives one time because people complain, bro. And I'm trying to logistically try to figure out, okay, who needs what. People are calling me left and right. Hey, Rhett, I got 3 truckloads. Where you want me to send it at? And I'm like, I don't know.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm not DOT. I'm not freaking the emergency department. All I'm trying to do is just be a beacon for everybody to come to and just say, okay, beacon of light, like, okay, let's try to organize this. But nobody reached out to me.
No.
It's like I was handling all of it. And I was like, then I started not doing my stuff.
Exactly.
And start dealing with everybody else's stuff. And then I started having a nervous breakdown. I was panicking. I'd cry. I'd be like, oh. But I mean, it's also an emotional time. It's also an emotional time. You're losing your house, then other people giving you a sad story, and you try to help them out as much as you can, and then you help that person out, and this person gets pissed off because you didn't help them out, and then they ask for something, and I'm like, you know what? When you try to help people, ugly comes out, man.
Oh,
it's like in times of disaster, the ugly comes out.
Yep.
And I'm like, you know what? So I kind of stepped away from it, and I was like, all right, this is what I'm going to do. All the money that I got, I went buy Lowe's gift cards. I went handed out anonymously. I was in Lowe's one day, and they had 4 people behind me. And I went, poop, poop, poop. Gave them each a $50 gift. Enjoy.
Yeah.
Didn't take a picture. Didn't do it. Because I don't want to do that. I don't like doing that. I don't like, hey, look what I did. Look what I did. I do that sometimes because people like to see what... I want to show where the money's going to.
Well,
we fed some linemen with the money too. We fed, like I want to show because people like
you have that one person,
that one asshole.
Oh, DJ Rhett collected all this money.
Yeah.
And, look at the house he lives in because he's been living in this damn house for 15 years.
I've been living in this house for a lot longer than I've been on the internet.
Because people always, you got to have an opinion about something, but sometimes just look at the mirror and tell your opinion to yourself.
Even the South Terrebonne thing. I started a GoFundMe account for South Terrebonne.
Oh, you got reamed.
I got reamed because they're like, well, just South Terrebonne. I went to South Terrebonne. My kids went to South Terrebonne. My family, my mom and daddy went to South Terrebonne.
Yeah.
And if Nicholls State University got destroyed, I would have helped them out too because I'm a Nicholls State alumni. And,
so when all these athletes and famous people donate to the college they graduated, go bring.
I'm
his
sure
ass.
they get hate. I'm sure they get hate for doing that. But you know
what
what
I'm saying? Like, you don't like it, then you do something about it.
Yeah, I know. And that's what I want. I'm like, hey, you don't like it? Well, then get off your ass and freaking fundraise for.
I mean, you put yourself in that position to try to help, so you're going to get that.
Oh, I will.
But I see a person like me, I wouldn't do that because I'm gonna end up saying something that piss.
I'm gonna let God handle it because if I handle it, I'm gonna go to jail.
Like, I mean, I just I'm that person. If I'm a donate, I don't need my name on. Like, when you go to the grocery store and they, you got the little hearts that they put on. The window. If you donate $5 to St. Jude, you can put your name on it. I'm like.
Yeah, there you go.
You put your name on it. Like,
no, it's all good. But it's just,
it's aggravating as hell. Is what it is.
No, yeah, and you try to be nice, and everybody, everybody's going through some shit right now. Everybody,
exactly.
Everybody. So, it's not like just one person or one group of people, but for South Terrebonne, just to let you guys know what I did with that money, I went. I put it down on the rectory in Berg
for
homecoming, and so the kids didn't have to pay for homecoming this year. So they
that was
ended
a big
up.
Deal.
That is a big deal because
not only for the kids, but the parents.
Because they said they weren't going to have homecoming.
Yeah,
because the school didn't have money or couldn't sponsor it or something.
Well, we always had homecoming at the
school.
Gym.
Yeah, at the school.
So
we had homecoming at town hall. We used to rent places.
Yeah, but
and it was when y'all, I think your senior year, y'all started doing it at the gyms.
Yeah, well, the thing was you had like the student councils and stuff that would raise money to pay for it.
Right.
You'd have the fundraisers and all. Well, I mean,
you didn't have time to fundraise this year
because
nobody was at school.
Or you can use that money to do something else.
Right.
I don't remember if we had it at the gym or not.
I remember DJing recent homecomings, and they're all at the gym.
Sadie Hawkins, I think.
Sadie Hawkins was at the old gym. We always had Sadie Hawkins at the old gym. Like that's how old I was.
Yeah. Oh, it was in the old.
It was in the old gym, and then now it's all in a new gym. Yeah. But I don't know if they. I don't know about Sadie. Do they still do Sadie Hawkins over there? I don't know. Kids don't do. Look, there's one thing I noticed, man. Homecoming. When we went to homecoming, what we did, man, we give it to girls, bro. We like, what's up, girl? I'm a kid and play. We're too hype, that was. Yeah. I'm dating myself now. I used to go to homecoming in the early '90s, mid '90s, and like, it was Boys to Men, Color Me Bad, bro. We were dancing, bro. We get it, Everybody dance now. I mean, we were getting it, dude. I DJ'd homecoming, and I'm not saying that they don't not have fun, but it's just they don't. It's no boy girl thing anymore, man. It's like they don't interact anymore, and which is not. It's just weird because I'm not used to seeing that. It's different times.
But we also grew up where you had dances.
Well, we also grew up where we didn't have no damn phone either, and we had to go talk to the girl.
That is
we didn't
true.
have to Snapchat or Instagram them. We actually had to grow a set and walk up to the pretty girl and say, "Hey, you want to go to homecoming with me?" No, okay.
It's a big production too now. You got people passing parades. And
you got the chocolates and the videos.
Can you imagine if we asked mom and daddy, "Hey, look, we need you to take the truck and drive to Montague.
Drive to Montague so I can ask this girl.
I want to ask
if she could be my Twix and break me in half, and I give her a bag of Twix.
I want to ask Dana if she could be my homecoming thing." Dad said, "Well, go ask her at school."
That'd have been like, I ain't driving. I did free gas card.
Yeah.
I'm cooking freaking meat and rice and gravy.
Ride your damn bike over there.
I know you can ride your bike to Montague. You better have your ass back for the light though. When the lights are back on.
You hear the whistle, your ass is mine.
Yeah, that's your ass, boss. No, but I mean, it's just different. Like I played a slow song. If none of them were like going out,
Yeah.
Nobody danced. Like it was just like maybe a few couples that dance, and then like girls would dance with girls, and like, it's
a different thing.
It's a different time, It's just I don't know.
It's funny to compare it and see the differences, but then you just like you don't understand it.
I don't, because I didn't grow up in this time. So, no. But I do kind of understand like how they're all in the phones. They're all in the phones now. So it's like it's almost like it hurts them to talk to somebody, And it's
because they can text.
Yeah. So I don't know. I just hope the next generation don't even get. I don't want to say dumbified, but just like get even worse. You know what I'm saying? Where we're just looking at each other and just go.
Well, everything is just getting simplified,
I guess.
Simplifying things is not the greatest thing when it comes to communication.
I guess not. I don't know.
No, because same thing. You read it. If I text you something, you read it in a different tone than what I
read it the way I think you're saying it to me.
Exactly.
Like you could be like, "Hey, asshole," but say it in a friendly way.
Yeah.
And I'm pissed off, and I'm like, "Motherfucker, call me an asshole."
Yeah.
Like it just I read text differently.
But that's what I'm saying. So simplifying
information,
is different too.
Yeah,
but
we're going off on all kind of tangents.
I don't even know how long we've been jibber jabbering.
This is an hour. It's an hour now. But we can tighten it up. But yeah. So I just want to wrap it. So the hurricane has made me I guess a more aware person of like how to do and not do things, and I guess I'm going to listen to people that got hit by hurricanes more. Like the people in Lake Charles, they were saying, Rhett, they were giving me advice saying, Rhett, we went through the same thing that you going through.
And they did.
And we cried about it and nobody did anything.
And I think a lot of people, and I'm guilty of this too. Which storm was it?
Was it Delta or Laura?
Laura
was the first one. Then it was Delta.
Whatever one.
Then Zeta hit us.
Was the 140 category.
That was the Laura.
Okay.
Yeah, the first one. That was the first one.
That one passed through so fast, they didn't have the flood issue.
Right.
And I think a lot of us down here, and I know I did, I was just like, oh, well, y'all good?
Yeah.
Not really. And they didn't have the coverage.
Yeah.
Just like Homa didn't have the coverage on the news, or at least I didn't see it.
No.
So it
was all new. It was crazy because Daddy had his camp over here and he had an antenna. So we didn't have cable or anything. So he caught one channel, it was Channel 4.
Yeah.
And we watched it. And Channel 4, Channel 4 was pretty good about it. The WWL, the local news, they were pretty good about it. But the national news, like CBS Evening News with whoever it is, they were showing actual video in Homa, and they had New Orleans, Louisiana at the bottom.
Yeah, but that's the thing too. Like I think a flood grabs more people's attention because you can see water in houses
and people walking in the water and stuff.
Where
we didn't have a lot. We didn't have, but dude.
We didn't have the flooding issue. Like
my mother-in-law has flooded 3 or 4 times, I think. And she told me, she was like, I don't know what I'd rather, the flooding or the wind damage. She was like, I'd rather the flood.
Well, yeah.
And I was like, what? And she was like, because it comes in.
It goes out.
You clean up. You're done.
Yeah.
She was like, this. It's like from the top down, and it's like,
and you can't start anything till the top gets fixed.
Exactly, you can't do nothing until the top's fixed.
Like I said, the water goes away by itself. Your roof can't fix itself.
Right, exactly.
So
it's nuts, man. I'd rather none of them, but I mean, I've helped them clean out their house and Mom and All's house and all that, with the floods and everything, and I probably have to agree with her. A flood is but I mean now people
they got
the ceramic tiles now. They used to have carpet. When that flooded, they ripped that out. Yeah, that was gross. Ripped that out, and then now they got ceramic tiles that look like wood now that you can.
Oh yeah, you just
hose that off.
Exactly,
and you're done with it. So, they've set a lot of people in Chauvin down the bottom. They set their houses up to where if it floods, it's no big deal now. They don't have sheetrock anymore. They have panel.
Exactly.
They peel the panel back,
and you let it dry out, and you can do it yourself.
Yeah, because. Dude, it sucks. They put those new levees down there, which it's good. It helps. But at the same time, the market value of the houses down in Chauvin and Cocodrie and up.
It went down.
Dude, those houses, I guarantee you, like my mother-in-law's house, she probably could have sold that house for $150,000 at least. I guarantee you she probably wouldn't even get $50,000 for it.
No, nobody wants to go. Nobody wants to go down there.
And it sucks. It just sucks.
Does.
Because now my house, which is in Berg, may eventually be a camp one day,
You never know.
Yeah, I mean, if we get slammed by these freaking hurricanes like this, Last year sucked. I mean, we were getting them. It seemed like every other week we were getting them.
Yeah, but just I mean, I don't think you're gonna see 150-mile-an-hour winds every year.
Nah.
Like you'll get we can handle the 75 to 100.
Well, we had Zeta last year. Zeta was 100 and Zeta was a Category 3, but that was going 26 miles an hour. It was hauling ass.
It's just that was a funny thing too. I put a beach ball in my front yard before the storm. I wanted to see if I can find it after. Now you got people's roofs blown off. You got trees that fell. That damn beach ball went 7 feet. Moved 7 feet. I measured it. How? I don't understand.
It's crazy, man. And that's what Daddy said. Daddy goes, look, he goes, every year we leave for the freaking hurricanes or we evacuate, and he goes, in that freaking mobile home right there never freaking get moved. He says, if that son of a bitch is still there when I come back, I'm buying it. Yeah. Guess what?
It was there.
It's still there. Everybody's freaking house is kaput.
Destroyed, yeah.
And the freaking mobile home with an awning around it.
Yeah. Still there.
Untouched.
It's just weird.
Dude, it's nuts. But we're gonna get back. Dude, look, there's so many different things going on. We can wrap it up with that. So there's so many different things that are going on. I'm gonna continue doing the y'all catching rodeo. I don't know if I'm gonna do it in Cocodrie now. I might do like a little circuit to where we move it around a couple of places or whatever.
Well, you can actually do it in Houma.
Yeah.
And then people fish.
People fish and bring it up there. Yeah, we'll probably do that.
Because you're not doing a catch and release type
rodeo.
So you don't have to be exactly on the water.
Yeah, we'll probably do that. And then I've been talking with Noah Lee Rhett. If you go in my podcast dialogue, I think it's like episode maybe 13, 14 maybe.
I still need to go check out his place.
He owns Bayou Terrebonne Distillers. Well, him and Jason Bergeron, who I went to school with, I think he used to be the president of SPCA. It's one of those little Terrebonne groups that help do projects in the area or something like that. I don't know what it is, but anyway, he used to be the president of that. Well, now I think he owns his own business. He's got a software company or whatever. Him and a couple other guys, Noah and Manny and Mitch and all these guys, they all kind of getting together and they're pushing the Hatch Grant project, which is they're raising money to restore downtown Houma.
Yeah.
And so if anybody's been to Houma the past couple of weeks, they did 2 events. One was, they have events regularly. They did a butchery.
Yeah.
They did 3 events actually. They did a butchery. They did what was it? The Mama Walker run.
Yep.
They trying to imitate the red dress run, but they're doing it in Houma, and you dress up as an old mama with walkers. And they started at the distiller, and they walked down.
What you said the guy's name is Jason?
Jason Bergeron.
Okay, yeah. We were in Scarlet Scoop one day, and he was advertising for it.
Oh, really?
Just a random day, and he walked in.
And he said it?
He knows John. I think they did some software work together or whatever. But yeah, he just walks in with a moo-moo, and I'm like, huh? And they were advertising for it, but I just thought that was funny.
But what they do is they start at the distiller, and they walk down Main Street, and they stop at, I don't know what bar it was first, but then they walked up and they went to Spickett's. Then they walked down, and I don't know if they went to Cristiano's or not, but there, and then they walked down Verrett Street and went to Liberty 531.
Yep.
And then from Liberty 531, walk all the way back to the distiller. So it was like a red dress run, but a bar crawl, if you will, But it happened. They were promoting it, and the freaking hurricane happened. Yeah. So, but they still had a lot of people. And check out the video. I'm playing it right now if you want to look at it. I videoed. I did some drone work for them too. It all ended at the distiller with drinks and band. Tyrone Benoit was there. Nong Nunawa Matus played, and then this past weekend we did the first annual. LSU Bama tailgate, Bayou Terrebonne tailgate experience.
I didn't know about it until you were live at the time.
Dude, it was awesome. So they had Main Street half blocked off, where you can go and pull your car in and tailgate all day long. Nobody knew about it, so nobody tailgated.
No, I didn't know until you were live.
Because I didn't really understand what was going. I thought it was just going to be a tailgate game experience, like food or whatever. But I didn't know about the tailgating thing. Then they had contests with the best sign. You know, how, like for game day to do the sign
Yeah.
and everything. One of the best signs I've ever seen was Nick Saban eating the hot dog.
Yeah.
Not the hot dog, the corn dog.
The corn dog. Yeah, it was the corn dog.
That shit's funny.
Yeah, they got some creative people.
Yeah,
on
yeah.
there.
So they trying to emulate that, but they did it for LSU Bama, of course, because that's big ratings or whatever. But
Yep.
they threw in Nickel State and McNeese, and they threw in what was the other game they played?
Lafayette.
Yeah,
or
something like that. I don't know.
Monroe?
They had another game, but they had a
Tulane.
big jumbotron. You can watch it there. They had cornhole. They had drinks. They had Bud Light sponsored it. Bouquet Distributing sponsored it. Then we had a Mike Leveron Productions. He had his stuff out there. Big old stage, and we had 5 bands or something. Adam Pierce was there. He was the dude on The Voice.
Mm-hmm.
Cool cat, ginger dude, long red hair, orange hair. And dude can freaking sing. Dude sang Zebra. Tell me what you want.
Yeah.
But I'm like, holy crap. Like, you close your eyes, it sounded just like the dude. Like, he had that high-pitched voice. Dude, awesome. And then another band called the Stump Grinders came on. They did, like, some folk music. Nonk Nuna Matus, Joe Stark, Tyrone Benoit, and Peyton Smith from South Terrebonne. The little hottie-toddy cutie, from down the bayou. I think he signed something, and he's in Tennessee doing some country stuff. So, but dude, like, and it sucks that the hurricane happened because we started getting some momentum for downtown Houma.
Yeah.
Because I want to revitalize downtown Houma.
I think you can kind of feed off of the hurricane and get people more motivated to get in as a full community and not be so damn rude to each other.
Well, it was nice to see everybody come out Saturday and just kind of just be there.
It's a relief,
Man, it's like everybody's like, for the first time, like I don't feel unsafe with like COVID. Like I don't feel like at first I was like, I kind of keep my distance from people. I don't do that anymore. It's like after the hurricane, I'm like, I don't care anymore. It's like, I learned to love a little more. I learned to pay attention a little more. I learned to be nicer a little more. I learned to hold the door open for people a little bit more, just because you don't know what they're going through, especially right now.
Yep.
You can, like a little duck, bro, right on the thing, but them feet are going a million miles out. You don't know what's going on in somebody's head. So if you just say, hey, what's up? That might have changed them from going freaking kill themselves, And
it's a crazy thing. Like when you do something nice for somebody, you get joy out of it. Like we were in New Orleans, like I mentioned earlier that my girlfriend's parents had COVID. Well, after the storm, one got transferred to New Orleans. Mm-hmm. So we went to New Orleans, but with the COVID restrictions, only one can go in the room. So I dropped her off. I went find a Walmart, just to kind of kill some time. Mm-hmm. I'm walking back to my vehicle, and this little girl walks up to me. I mean, when you get walked up on in a parking lot, you know if that person's a crackhead,
right?
Or they really in trouble.
They really, yeah.
And she wasn't, but if I had to guess, 17 to 19 years old. She was young. She told me her purse got stolen out of her vehicle. She had no money. She had her phone on her, and she had her ID. And she said, I don't have enough gas to get home. She showed me her ID. She said, sir, pull it up on your Google Maps. She goes, it's only like an hour away in Mississippi. I just need enough gas to get there. Can you help me out? And she's in tears. Mm-hmm. And I could tell she was.
Right.
So I said, there's a gas station right across. I said, do you have enough to get across to the gas station? She said, yeah. I said, meet me there. Thanking me. She's in tears. We go there, and I said, all right, fill up your truck. Just trying to be nice. She said, no. I said, yeah, fill it up. She goes, no, I just need enough to get home. She put $20 in her vehicle, thanked me, and walked away. What I got out of that was the girl wasn't taking advantage of anybody. I felt good that I helped this girl. She didn't lie to me. And now I could open my eyes to helping people. So, like, I go get coffee, and I'm like, you know what, pay for the person behind me.
Exactly.
And you know what I tell them?
Pay it forward,
Pay
bro.
it forward. Just if everybody would do little things like that, and you don't have to spend your money, but you said open the door for somebody. Just tell somebody good morning. Say hi.
Right.
Don't mean mug people. I hate those people that just.
Or you could be like me, go to PJ's. I pull up and people they were like, "Hey, somebody recognized you in the front and they paid for your little coffee, which is $5." I was like, "Oh, who are they?" And they're like, they wanted to be anonymous. I'm like, "Okay, cool." I said, "Well, you know what? I'll pay for the people behind me.
Yeah.
That'd be $38." I went, shit!
Or you can do like me when I pull up the PJs and I'm in the drive-thru and they're like, oh, it's DJ. Oh, never mind. I'm like, yep, I'm the brother. I was in Walmart the other day and I got my name hollered, Benji. I'm like, I turn around, never seen this woman before in my life. She said, tell your brother, next time I see him, I have no idea who she is. Next time I see him, I'm going to give him a shout out because I went to a store the other day and somebody gave me some change and they said, here's your $3. And it clicked in my mind.
$3?
She's talking about the video from Granny.
Yeah.
The $3.
That's $3.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. They told me about that the other day. They said they saw you.
Really?
Yes. They said, who was that? And I didn't know what they were talking about. And they said $3. They said it reminded me of your maman's video.
Yes.
And I was like, oh yeah, the $3.
Yeah.
No, they didn't tell. They messaged me. They messaged me on Facebook and said, I saw your little brother and I told him $3 like that.
Yeah.
And that funny. The video of your granny is really funny. And I was like, yeah, I miss old granny.
Old Granny.
Old Granny.
She would have enjoyed this storm. We would have enjoyed having her for the storm.
No, let me tell you real quick before we wrap it up. If we're going to get Daddy over here to tell the story about them with Gustav, it was Momo May and Granny. Yeah. They were, I mean, bless their souls, they both gone from this earth. But back in 2008, when they were still kicking and giving, they stayed in my old house in a home. We evacuated because Emmy was a baby, and I'm like, I'm not keeping a baby over here for a hurricane. So we evacuated to.
We went to Little Rock, Arkansas.
Little Rock, Arkansas. Yeah, you were there.
Yep.
Y'all had a rent house, and I was in a hotel, and y'all kept Daisy, the dog, because we couldn't have the dog with us.
And then the storm came a little bit quicker, and you called, and I was like, dude, we got a house, bro. Come up.
Yeah,
so y'all came an extra night.
Yeah, that was cool. But yeah, so Daddy and Mama was in the house with no electricity for a week with Granny and Mama. So his mama and her mama. And oh man, let's just say, that's a whole podcast right there. Stories.
Oh my goodness.
She wanted Daddy to go get some Popeye's fried chicken. Like she's crazy. Okay,
yeah,
she was crazy at the time. So she was like, I want some Popeye's fried chicken, and he's like, Mama, goddamn hurricane just hit. It's closed. Yeah, Rhonda had to go in Rouse's, and they had a National Guard with a freaking machine gun. She could only get Vienna sausage and potted meat. That's all she can get in bread. And she was like, well, she could have got Evangeline.
Yeah. Oh, dude.
And that's when Mama lost.
Old people don't.
Old people don't give a shit.
The older I get, the more I don't give a shit.
Well, I can relate now.
Yeah, exactly.
The older I get, I'm gonna be like, bro, you could have, like.
Yeah, you could. Hey,
so get it.
We're not trying to be mean. We're just trying to state the obvious, but we don't know how to do it in a nice way.
We don't know how to do it in a nice way. No. No. All right. Well, thank you for coming. Shoot the shit with me, bro. It's been a while. Look, man, I'll make it weekly. I don't care. I want to make this weekly again. And get the sponsorship going again because not just because I want to keep doing this. It doesn't matter. I mean,
I think this would be a good one to introduce like people what's going on.
Well, yeah, and also if anybody out there drop us a line in the comments if you want us to talk to anybody. I mean, I'll call the freaking superintendent out of here. I'll call Gordy Dove. I'll call freaking Tim Saunier. I'll call whoever. We could talk to some people. We could talk to some insurance people. Guy I'm working with, Lance Bill, in Lafayette. I do some legal commercials for him, and I do some stuff for him on Facebook. I'm gonna get him on the page so he can kind of talk and say, "Hey, man, if you got any questions about insurance claims or anything like that." So, I mean, I know the DJ Rhett podcast is all about fun and games and stuff, but every now and then I like to teach a thing or two because I don't want anybody to get screwed.
No, and we're all learning. After this storm, I mean, we went through a few little ones,
right?
But we're all learning.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I've been through Andrew, Gustav, Katrina, Ida, and took the freaking cake, bro. Yeah. Ida busted our ass.
The one common thing in all those storms, we always got paid for our fence. Always got paid for.
Put a fence up. I'm telling you.
Put one up.
Because I'm telling. Well, they pay for the labor too. So if you put it up, I mean these. But that's what I'm saying, bro. Y'all charge that much to put a fence? Bro, we ought to start our own fencing company.
That's what I'm saying.
My fence will be like this.
Oh, dude. I'm not. I wasn't even trying the fence at my house.
My fence is gonna be crooked as shit.
I can fix it because the guys I hired put the last 2 posts straight so I can follow a line there. But I wouldn't do it.
Dude, I'd have me a couple of IPAs in me, and I'd have that shit doing this.
But yeah, if anybody in the insurance company is watching this, why do y'all never fight about a fence?
Yeah, y'all never fight about a fence.
But you ain't gonna pay me.
You're not gonna pay me for mold, but you'll give me
$15,000 to put a fence back up, but you won't give me $4,000 to change the floors that are buckling.
Yeah.
That's all I gotta say.
That's all I gotta say too. So we're gonna end that on that note right there for the DJ Rhett podcast. Is Benji. I'm Rhett. We're gonna see y'all next week. Thank y'all so much. Bye.
Your mom.